Few more seconds here. Just going to wait exactly to 12:30, give everybody an opportunity to jump on in, and then we will get rolling.
Sure. It's right at
All right.
12:30, so
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, good afternoon, rather. I am Farah Belizario. I introduced myself a few minutes ago, but for those who are just joining us, I am the Director of Agent Services for Lair, Florida. And thank you so much. I am joined by Ashley Gendreau. She's a Lair project specialist, and we today are talking about Fello, amazing program, and we're going to dive in to mastering real estate success with Fello and how Fello can magically transform your business. It's going to be a great class, but it's going to be a packed class. It is a full, tight 60 minutes. So before we even jump in, if you have any questions, please send them on over to happyagent@lairrealty.com where we can get to them and the Happy Agent team can support you. Starting right away, before we jump in, as you all know, if you've ever taken a class, I always want to explore the why something is very important. And right now, we're going to just chat about why a CRM is vital for building a business in real estate specifically. As you all know, most of you are tenured agents. So many of you know that the vital part of your business is going to be the database. Most important part, if you do not have a database, do you actually have a real estate business? So for those of you who do not know, a CRM is actually client relationship management, and there are several of them out there to help you manage your database. The one we're going to be talking about today is Fello. Some reasons why a CRM is really important to manage your database is, of course, centralized organization, keeping track of leads, contact, and communications all in one place. As you know, if you have a really large database, or even if you have a smaller database of like 50 people, it can be really hard to manage and organize contact information, phone number, email, so on and so forth. So this is the main reason why a CRM is really important. Another really important reason to have a great CRM, and I say that intentionally, great CRM makes a huge difference, just like Fello, is efficient follow-ups. Automated reminders help you nurture your leads without missing opportunities and without that sense of anxiety. Who am I calling today? I don't have this person's phone number, or it's the wrong number, it's the wrong email, so on and so forth. It can remove the anxiety of managing a database and help you efficiently connect with those people in a meaningful way. Data insights, another really important for a great CRM. Again, the difference between a great CRM and a regular CRM is that sometimes these functionalities are not their best or they're missing altogether. Data insights help you analyze performance and trends to optimize different strategies. And scalability, manage more clients without sacrificing personal touch. Really important piece here, because as you grow within your business, you want to be able to handle a larger database with ease. You can only get that done with a great CRM. And consistency. We want to be able to build stronger client relationships through personalized, consistent communication. If we're reaching out weekly, we want to be able to easily do that in a sustainable way where we can do it week to week, and a CRM will help us achieve that. Challenges without a CRM. And this is a great little image because this is exactly what my bag looks like right now. A lot of products, a lot of information, and no way for me to organize it, which is how a CRM will be able to help you. Without a CRM, you will miss opportunities. That is for sure. Did you know that 5% of your database right now will list their property within 12 months? This is a statistical fact. If you are missing the opportunity of connecting with these people, that means you're missing out on listings, and ultimately you're missing out on a check, and we don't want that. Forgetting to follow up with potential clients is a huge miss. Lost data equals lost relationship. This is so true. The time it takes us to enter in an email or phone number into a database is nothing in comparison of not having the phone number or have taken it down wrong, or you don't know what you did with it. So lost data is a lost relationship. Important contact details scattered across emails and notes don't work for anybody. And reduced efficiency, wasted time looking for information, and also wasted time and energy feeling anxiety or shame or guilt for not being able to connect with your database in a meaningful way. And limited growth. It is difficult to scale your business towards success and towards your goals if you don't have the tools and resources to achieve that. A CRM is a very, very important one. Difficulty handling a growing client base without a system. I don't even think it's difficult. I think it is almost impossible to handle a really large database without a CRM. And this is Fello. This is where we bring up Fello. So as you know, prior to this, we were using Isaac. We are leaning into Fello now. Fello is an all-in-one platform designed to streamline your workflow and maximize your real estate business's potential. It also has really cool AI integration, which we're going to get into, and that and so much more. But before we do that, we're going to talk about why Fello. The purpose, it combines CRM features with innovative tools for lead management, market insights, and client engagement. Fello is amazing. The value is it simplifies your tasks, builds stronger relationships, and help you close more deals. Some really amazing key features of Fello. Lead management. We want to be able to organize, track, and prioritize your leads. Not every lead is a lead that needs to be a priority, right? So this is going to help you not only engage with your database, but prioritize and organize who you should be focusing on in the moment. Market insights. We're going to be able to access up-to-date market data to provide accurate advice. Very, very important. Automated follow-up, set reminders, and communication schedules to help you manage your database and how you interact with them. Home valuation tools. We love this. We all know that home valuation tools are a really, really great key to seller and listing leads. Share instant property valuations with clients to be able to get them into your database in a focused way so that we know that there's somebody that is going to transact. And client engagement. Stay connected with personalized messages and updates. Very, very important. More leads from your existing database. We really want to focus on the sphere because we know your sphere of influence are people who know, love, and trust you. And they're going to be the ones who are more likely to engage with you in your business. We want to make sure we're leaning away from buying leads and really focusing on the sphere that we have. Stay top of mind with past clients and generate new opportunities by plugging Fello into your existing marketing process. From widgets to landing pages to custom dashboards, Fello instantly creates a more productive top of funnel strategy. Enhance conversion with Fello. You can monitor your entire database's behavior in real time. Between our Real Sellers tool, very, very cool, filterable lists, and live notifications, you can identify more hand raisers and optimize your sales conversion to drive more revenue. This is important. The Real Sellers tool is one of my favorite things about Fello. It will analyze your database to see who is really looking to list. Great, great tool. And hand raisers simply mean people that are looking and to transact and maybe need some help. Real sellers alerts is just what I was talking about, identifying real opportunities in real time. Fello's exclusive. This is exclusive software to Fello. Real sellers feature actively scans every contact in your database to uncover current and future sellers. This feature creates major opportunities to improve your process and convert more leads to listings. Now we're going to transition really quickly over to the lovely, amazing Ashley Gendreau. She is the teacher and facilitator of all things Tech Bundle, and Fello is part of that. But before we do that, I wanted to make sure we're all aware of this great resource because we know Lear is overflowing with them. You can all go to lairrealty.com/briefings. This is the way you can book a one-on-one with a lot of the facilitators, managers, and support that we have here in Lair. Specifically for Ashley Gendreau, you will be able to get her by choosing the LEC bundle setup call where you can work with her, or how to use Fellow. When we're talking about the tech bundle, this is part of the tech bundle. And one thing I want to make sure I mention for Fellow before I move over to Ashley is that Fellow on its own for an individual agent is $300 a month. You can now get it as part of your tech bundle for $39. I don't know, it sounds like a win to me, right, Ashley?
Yeah, so as Farah was saying, the tech bundle is 3 platforms. Fellow is one of them. I do want to also say that for anyone who has recently joined Lair within the past month that does not have the tech bundle yet, and you do want to sign up for the tech bundle, Isaac is being replaced by Hi Fellow. So your new CRM will be Hi Fellow. You will no longer have Isaac as an option. We are transitioning to Hi Fellow. Go ahead and switch the slide, Farah. So I just want to point that out there. Oh, perfect. Sergio put the one-on-one briefings form in there. So we're just gonna go through a couple of slides, step-by-step guide, and then towards the end, once we get through some of the slides, I'm gonna do a quick demo. As Farah said, this is a jammed packed class. We might not get to everything. We might not get to your questions. So as we said earlier, if you have any questions, email Happy Agent Farah. Go ahead and switch it for me, please. So logging in, next slide. How do I log into Fellow? There is a URL that's hifellow.com. I do want to also point out on this quick slide that there is no mobile app like there is for Real Scout or Isaac. If you had Isaac, Fellow is a desktop or a iPad or a tablet based platform. So go ahead, next slide.
I also want to mention here that if you were part of the tech bundle prior to November and December, that all of your contacts have now been uploaded to Fellow.
Yes.
And additionally, your login and an invite to Fellow was sent either November or December to you. So definitely check your email.
Yes. And if you cannot find that email, just go ahead and email Happy Agent and we can re-invite you, or we can tell you what email was used for you to search that. So when you log into your Hi Fellow account, there is an account. So you would have to go in and set up your photo, your license number. So you would do that is when you log in, on the right side where this arrow's pointing, there is a little icon that looks like a person. You would click on that. Go ahead to the next slide, please. And it'll bring up your name. You're gonna click on the settings. Once you click on the settings button, it's gonna bring up your profile page. This is where you would add your photo. You would make sure your phone number is correct. You can add your license number. If you wanted to do a custom email signature, you can do that as well. The custom email signature is already set for you. If you do want to preview that email signature, you can go ahead and click preview email or preview dashboard, and it'll show you what your signature would look like in an email. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. There are specific landing pages that you can set up. What's a landing page? A page where you can draw clients or draw potential clients, right? So there's a couple ways that you can do this. Number one is you click the marketing tab in the middle. You would go ahead and click on landing pages and you would click on personal. Once you click on personal, it's going to bring you to a next page. So if Farah could please go to the next slide. This is where you are going to create your own URL. Go back a slide, please. So this is where you're going to create your own URL. So if you have a team name, so if Farah and Ashley had a team, we could do, we could do coast to coast real estate, for example, because she's in Florida, I'm in New England, right? So then if we did that, we would click continue. Once we click continue, it's going to create a custom URL that we can use to create our landing pages. Go ahead to the next slide, please. There are different landing pages that you can create. So if you do want to create a landing page, let's say you want to create a seller one. Again, you would click market, and over on the right hand or left hand side, there will be something that says landing pages. You would select personal, and then you would click create new. Once you click create new, it's going to bring you to another page. This is where you can select one or multiple. You can have different seller landing pages. You don't just have to have one seller landing page, right? You can select a home value landing page. You can have a cash offer landing page, right? What if you want to have multiple cash offer landing pages? Go for it. You can create as many or as few landing pages as you want. Go ahead to the next slide, please. Once you create your landing page, or you select the one you want to create, you can go ahead and name it. If you want to name it, say, Sell in Florida with Farah, or Farah Sells Florida, right? You can go ahead, put that in as the name. Once you save the name, it's gonna go ahead and ask you, do you want to customize your landing page? Do you want to edit your landing page? You can put your own branding on your landing page. So in the settings section of Fello, which we will get to a little later on, there is a way that you can upload your own logo, your own colors, etc. So if you are on a team and your team has a logo, perfect, you can use that. So within these landing pages, you can, you can customize your text. So let's say you don't like the letter label on get started, and you want to be like, quick guide, right? You can go ahead and change that. So you can customize this landing page to how you want it. Go ahead to the next page, please. So with the landing page, as we mentioned before, you have the different templates already created for you. You don't have to create them. You're just editing them to how you like them to be edited, right? Let's say you have a website and you want your landing pages to mimic your website. Perfect. You can go ahead and use that same word and format that's on your website on your landing page, so it's all cohesive, so it doesn't seem like it's two different websites. You can make them cohesive and make it feel like it's all one, even though it's a separate platform. Now, once you have created your landing page and you like how it's set up, but you want to use it, you need to save it. So there's the save button. If you do all that work and then you walk away and your computer updates, hate to tell you, you just lost all that work if you don't click save. So what I do is I do a little bit of work, I click save, because if I save it and I go back to it, what I've done will be saved. If I did something and I didn't save it, it's not going to be saved. So this is where you can do the personal landing pages. Where do I find them? So if you go to marketing, the marketing tab in the middle, the landing pages and personal, once you save it, it's going to show up as a landing page. You can use that URL in Facebook posts, Instagram posts, emails, TikTok, YouTube, whatever other social media there is. I know there's other ones like Blue Sky or other ones. QR code generator. So each landing page will have a QR code. So if you want to share this on social media, you can go ahead, share it on social media. You can just use a QR code. If you want to use a QR code for this specific landing page, because let's say Farah's doing an open house at 123 Main Street in Wellington on Saturday, right? She can create a Sell with Farah at 123 Main Street landing page. She can put that QR code in her print material, in her Facebook ads, in her emails, in her Instagram posts, in her TikTok video about the property, right? Next slide, please. So QR codes can be used along with the social media icons to share directly to Facebook, LinkedIn. I don't know what that bird is. Do you know what that bird is, Farah?
Yeah, it's Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, now X.
And then yes. And then the green one is WhatsApp. So you can share it on all of those platforms right from there, or you can copy the link and just make a post if you wanted to. So How do you visit your landing page? It's going to be that URL code that you just copied on the previous page, or that you put in the QR code, right? Who doesn't have a smartphone with them nowadays, right? If they have a QR code, or if you have a QR code, just ask them to pull out their phone and just say, hey, if you want to see my landing page for 123 Main Street, just scan this code and it'll bring you to that page, right? Quick, simple, easy. If they don't have if they don't have a smartphone, but they have a computer at home, just write that personalized URL down for them so they can still access it. Personalized landing pages still. Let's say I want to clone a page, right? But I want to use it for a different property. Well, that's great. If you go into the personal landing pages and you click the settings button in the middle, you can go ahead and click clone. It'll create that exact same page, but again, you can edit it to be at 456 Main Street, right? So a lot of the legwork is already done. You're not reinventing the wheel. You're just using what you've already created for another property. Go ahead to the next slide, please. Where to share the home value URL. As we mentioned, listing sheets, any marketing, any open house signs, for sale signs. For sale signs. You can put a QR code on for sale signs nowadays, right? So if you have, you could just have it go to your generic landing page, right? You can just have that QR code to your Hi Fello. And if somebody goes on there and they enter their information, great, you got a new lead. What you want to do with that lead is you want to make sure you go into your database and you assign it to you as an agent. We will get to that a little bit later on. Go ahead to the next slide, please. Adding contacts. As Farah mentioned before, if you are at Lair and you have already had the tech bundle prior to mid-November, early December, your contacts from Isaac have already been uploaded to your Fello account. We went through this whole project with Fello. I personally downloaded all of the Isaac contacts. I sent them to Hi Fello. They uploaded them all. If you have any discrepancies with any of your database that was uploaded from Isaac, email Happy Agent, let us know the errors, the imperfections in your database, and we can work with our fellow reps to correct it, or we can work with you to correct it. Now, you can manually add a contact. To do this, super simple. You click on the contacts tab in the middle of the screen. You would click add contact. Once you click add a contact, it's gonna come up with a window for you. That window is gonna show you, once you click add, it's gonna pop up a window. It's gonna have you enter the client's name and their email and their property address. Now, I will caveat this. You can have Jane Doe and John Smith on the same card. However, it will have one primary name. So the primary name, so let's say we have Jane Doe as the first name and John Smith as the last name, that contact card is gonna show who you have first. Can I have 2 email addresses in a contact card? You can. Now, will it show you that secondary email? It will, but the name on the card will be the first name. So, once you add them, there's a search bar that you can type in their name. You can also type in their address to find them. You can type in their email. Those are the different ways you can search for a contact in your database. Go ahead to the next slide, please. I feel like I should call you my Vanna White for today. Instead of Vanna White, you should be Farah. Adding contacts. Once you add your contact and you are in your contact card, there is what's called tags. These tags are, if you had Isaac, you would name them as a seller or an A-list contact or a B-list contact. This is the equivalent to that. So Fello calls them tags. So you have different tags. You can check off cash offer, pending seller info. If you have a client who requests a CMA, you can check off CMA request. It'll tag that. Can you remove the tags? If they become a client. So let's just say it's a past client. They want to see if it's worth selling. You can check them off as a CMA request. Once they become a seller, you would just go to that tag field on the right. There's a little X. You just click that and it gets rid of that tag that they've requested a CMA, and you can set them as a seller tag. Go ahead to the next slide, please, Farah. A pro tip: if the contact is not saving, it's a good chance that they're already claimed. What does that mean? If you have somebody in your database that you put in here and you do not assign them to yourself when you manually add them, anybody can find them and anybody can claim them. Again, could you lose that client because you didn't claim them? You could, but I will show you how you do not lose your leads when you claim them, when you put them in as a contact. Go ahead to the next slide, please. How do we examine these contacts? What information does it show? It's going to show us a lot of information at first, but we're going to break it down for you. Step number 1, you're going to see all of the emails that the Fello system has sent out for them in the middle. It's going to be home value alerts. It's going to be a contact dashboard, right? An introductory email. You're going to be able to see all of your clients' emails that are sent out. You're going to be able to see if they open them. On the right-hand side, we have their name, we have their email, we have their phone number, we have what we called a lead score. What is a lead score? The higher the score, the more likely your client is going to list with you in the next 6 months. They might be a year, they might be 2 years out. It all depends on where they are in life. That's the lead score. On the right, you have a little picture of a house. That's the details of their property. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, etc. It's all right there for you in their contact card. Go ahead to the next slide, please. Now, examining the contact. We have the property address. It also lists the current owners, the sale history, the lead score, the home value, the recent sales. If there's a current mortgage on the house, because we all know, if we ask a potential seller, what's your mortgage? Oh, I don't know. I have one, but I don't know the balance. Guess what? We can go with them to our listing appointment with this information because we got it right from here, right? Contact information. It's verified, right? That little green check next to the email, next to the phone number, next to that name. It's all information that's been verified, so we know we have the correct information. Go ahead to the next slide, please. Now, as I mentioned previously, a lead score. This is AI generated, and it evaluates how likely they are to sell. So I don't know if anybody has used HomeSnap Pro before it became homes.com. HomeSnap had something that was how likely they are to sell. So if they were in a yellow or a blue area, how likely they were to sell. The higher the score, the closer to 100 it is, the more likely they are to sell within 6 months to a year. Next slide, please. Now, the lead score is based on their activity on their dashboard. So the more interactive the client is with their homeowner dashboard, the more their lead score goes up. So the more interaction you have with your clients, the more their score increases, the more likely they are to sell. Next slide. What else affects the lead score? We all know in real estate, what's the average amount of time somebody lives in a house before they sell? 5 to 7 years, right? Nowadays, it's getting a little longer because of interest rates, but the longevity that they've been in the home plays a factor into it. How much equity do they have plays a factor into it. What is the homeowner clicking on in Fello also plays into it. Now, this data is compared to the activity of similar homeowners in the area. So could you have your parents' house listed in a neighborhood and a neighbor be in Fello as well? You certainly can. If that neighbor is active in Fello and your parents are active in Fello, guess what? Your scores are going to go up. More likely for you to get a listing. What is an AVM? So we know Zillow does estimates. Fellow has something similar to that. If you use RPR, you've seen AVM before. Excuse me. So AVM is a technology-driven tool that estimates the value of a property. It's a mathematical model with data sources such as public records, comparable sales, market trends to produce an estimated value. Now, would I trust this value? Not 100%. Will I still say, go do a CMA? Go compare? Go do your comparatives? 110% I will, because we know a lot of the time these estimates can be way off, and your sellers could expect a number up here, but the market's saying here, and then you're going to be at odds with your sellers because they're like, well, I want 850 for my house because that's what my estimate said, but the market's saying 800, right? So we need to be able to negotiate that. Fellow AVM. So Fellow pulls from 3 different sources: Quantarium, ATTOM. I'm not really sure how you say that acronym. Adam? Is it Adam?
Adam.
I've never heard of that one. And CoreLogic. So those are the 3 that your AVM comes from. And the one on the top is the one that has the highest confidence rate. So Quantarium in this one is saying that this house could be listed for 427. So that's the one that it's saying that you should go with. Next slide, please. Can the AVM be used for commercial property? John, table that question for our commercial network group, because I don't know if the calculations are the same for commercial property as they are for residential. Fellow AVM, the agent can also add their own home to the calculation, right? So if you have a listing in your neighborhood, you can also add your home to get a value calculation to properly calculate what you should list that home for. Or if you're thinking of selling, this could be a great tool to kind of help you if you should sell or not. Next slide, please. It will also email the homeowner with a custom report once you do that information. All future AVMs will include your edited home value in its calculations. So if you add your own home, it's automatically going to use your home to calculate future AVMs for future properties. Next slide, please. The homeowner dashboard. So we all know there's an agent side to everything, right? So agents can see a dashboard. Is there one for clients to see? Of course there is. So each homeowner will have an email. They will have an introductory email to the home value report. This is bi-weekly. You do not have to worry about sending this out. It is automatically sent out. Who doesn't love something that's automatically sent out for them? You don't have to spend all day when you could have 20 showings lined up in between your showings writing, what am I going to write to my clients today? It's already written for you. Fello has an algorithm that these emails are sent out on. So once you add a contact, there might not be an initial email sent out for a week. Don't worry. It's in the algorithm of Fello that it will be sent out. After the first email is sent out, there's an algorithm to send out the next email. It's in a series of emails. You do not need to do anything. That part of Fello is automated.
It's good to note here, Ashley, before you go on, that it's really, really important to enter in your contact with a home address. Very important.
Yes, yes. So the first email to contact, your lead is going to get an email that says, excuse me, I just choked on the air when I was trying to talk. Farah, do you mind doing this?
It's okay. I'll take over. You mute and get some water. So the first email that's going to go out to your contact, this is the first email the lead receives. Although it's really, really important for you to try to enter in as much accurate information when you enter the contact in Fello to begin with, if you do not have their address, not to worry. If you have their email address, it will make a huge impact because Fello is going to encourage them and dangle the carrot, so to speak, of, hey, don't you want to see your home value report? Please enter in your email, your home address in order to do that. So just in case, this is awesome because it helps us avoid that awkward conversation of what's your home address, trying to get contacts and clients to give us their address. Fellow will help you do that. Ashley, you ready? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes, I'm ready.
Good.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yes.
Oh, no problem.
I went to talk and I'm like, oh, I'm choking on air. Okay. So as Farah said, that's the email. Next slide, please. Future emails are gonna have different subjects. They're gonna have different content. Some of them will be curious as to what your home value is worth. As Farah just said, there's that carrot dangling in there in the air if they don't have their address, right? How are they gonna know how much their home is worth if they don't have the address in there? If you have a name and a phone number, you can search white pages. You can search public records. I know in Massachusetts MLS, if you have a name, you can search the public record and get their address if you don't already have it. Next slide, please. How do they engage? So there's a weekly report, a weekly generated database, if you want to call it, that will show you who's opening your emails, what's the percentage that they open them, how many emails has that client opened that have been sent. So it breaks it all down for you. So if you're somebody who likes to see the open rate or the engagement rate of your clients on a CRM, you can go ahead and use this report for that information. Next slide, please, Farah. The dashboard sorts the leads in the order they have clicked for more information. So the more clicks you have from a client, the higher they're gonna be. So the dashboard sorts the leads in the order. So the higher the lead score, the higher up on your agent dashboard they're gonna be. Go ahead. So now we are gonna go ahead and switch over to the demonstration. So go ahead and go to that last slide, please, Farah. And now, if somebody's checking out their home value, you're gonna find out why. We're gonna switch gears for just a couple of minutes. I am going to share my screen, do a quick demonstration on some of the stuff we just went over. Why is this not sharing my screen? Can you see my screen, Farah?
I cannot see your screen.
You cannot. Why is it not sharing it? Okay, give me 1 second.
Take your time. While you're trying to do that, I will mention a couple of things. As we can see, Fello compared to Isaac is an abacus and Fello is like a full-fledged, like amazing supercomputer. So definitely a great thing. Okay, go ahead, Ashley.
Perfect. You can see my screen now.
Can. Yep.
Yay! Okay, so when you go to the login page for Fello, there's 2 ways that you can, or actually 3 ways that you can sign into your account. You can type in your email address and your password. You can have it linked to your Gmail or your Apple email or Apple phone. I don't really know what it's called. If it's an Apple email, I don't really have Apple, so I don't know that. So what I do for quick, easy access, because I'm so busy and I'm always busy, the quicker I can get into something, the better. So I just click on continue as Ashley through my Lair account, click on my name. It's already gonna have my password saved. And in a minute, in Fello I am. So the first thing that you're gonna wanna do, the first time you sign in, come over here to the right-hand side. If you do not have your photo, it's just gonna be a person, a circle with a person. You're gonna click on this. You're gonna go down to your settings, and this is where you can edit your signature, your photo. So I did see somebody said that they couldn't save it or they couldn't save their photo. So what you want to do is click on edit. And then select a photo. So we're gonna do search. I guess my photos do not want to come up on this computer. So you would select a photo. I don't have any of myself, unfortunately, on this computer. It's a newer computer. And then once you select that photo, you are going to want to make sure you resize it so none of your head is cut off. And then once you do that, you're going to click Save Changes right here. So you're going to want to make sure that you click this button that says Save Changes. If you have any problems, email Happy Agent and we can schedule a one-on-one so I can see what you are doing when you are trying to edit your photo. If it is still not working for you, I'm sorry, I don't remember who you were, but I did see that question come through. So just make sure your phone number is correct, your email address is correct, your license number. So if you have more than one license, just put a comma and add your other licenses in there. You can have a custom signature field, and down below you will see the signature. So this is the customizable signature that'll be included within the emails and the home value dashboard for any contact that is owned by you. So what that means is any contact that is assigned to you as the agent. So for me, I just have my license number, my phone number, my email, brokerage name, and my name. If I click preview email, this is how it's going to look on the email. Super generic. It's fine with me. I'm not a frilly foo-foo type person. I'm a meat and potatoes girl. So that is how you can edit your profile. Now, I know we said a little bit about landing pages. We're going to click over here to marketing. If you want to select a landing page, you're going to go right here. You're going to click account. You are going to click create new. I've already created one. So once you create your initial landing page and you create a new landing page, it's going to give you all of these templates that you can choose from. So you can do a dual tabbed call to action landing page. Oh, what's that you say? It's a call to action. If you've been on Michael Mayer's calls for the past, 6 months that we did, what does Michael always say in your handwritten notes? What does he always say? Make a PS. That is a call to action. PS, when you receive this, call me or text me that you've gotten the letter. Let's catch up for coffee, right? Engage, 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 call to action. You can create a landing page for it. You can use a QR code for this, right? So there's different landing pages that you can create. I know we're running short on time, so I'm just going to go through contacts quickly. So to add a contact manually, you would go to contacts. You would click on add. You would put in their first name. Farah, I'm just going to use you for an example. Belizario. Her email. Her phone number. I don't know her phone number off the top of my head. I'm not going to put it in there. And the address, right? So it says search for address. I'm just going to do 123 Main Street, Wellington for right now. I'm not going to save it. This is just an example, right? Wellington, Ohio comes up. And now this is where I said, right? You want to make sure that you put yourself as the assigned agent. If we leave this blank, any agent can find your client and can assign them to themselves. You want to make sure that this assigned agent has your name. And then we are going to agree to the acceptable use policy, and then we would click save. I'm not going to save Farah because I don't want her to get spammed with Hi Fello emails. So that is how you save a contact that you manually add. If you have a database or a CSV file of contacts, you can click import right here. It's going to ask you to click or browse the file. You can go ahead and upload the file that has your contacts in there. Or if you want, like we said previously, email it into Happy Agent, and we can get them to our fellow reps and they can upload it for you. Farah, how are we doing on time? I know we have about 15 minutes left for the call, so I just want to do a time check.
You have about 7 minutes. You're good.
Perfect. Thank you for that. So when we go into a lead, right, I'm just going to go into one of my personal leads. So even though Patsy and Kenny recently closed on this property, November of last year in 2024, right, their lead score is high. Why is their lead score high? Because of the amount of the engagement that they've had. I can see that they've clicked on these emails. I can see that she's viewed the dashboard. I can see that a home value email was sent as part of the automation home value digest, right? Now, if we break it down even further, this is where I said, if you need to delete a contact because they betrayed you, you would just click on the 3 dots and click delete contact, right? So if they're no longer a client of yours, let's say Patsy has somebody else who lives in the house with her and I want to add him as well, right? I could do Patsy and Kenneth, right? Robinson and Barrett. And I would click save. Now, this is going to change the name. So it's going to say Patsy and Kenneth, Robinson and Barrett, right? But to make it even easier, what I can do is I can do Patsy Robinson. I'm clicking too quickly. And Kenneth Barrett, and then both of them will be listed like that. So now it lists both people that live in the house on the same contact card. Now, you can add another email address. So if you do want to add another email, you click the little pencil next to the email, add email, and then you'll be able to add Kenny's email. I don't know it off the top of my head. And then once I add that additional email, I'm going to click save. Now, again, the key factors, it tells you the key factors of the lead score right here in this database, right within their contact card. So I can see because they have their phone number, because their address is present, because the primary email address is validated. It's a recent submission. It's a one form submit. It's a recent engagement. It's a one email click. It's multiple email opens. It's a recent email click, right? All of this goes into the lead score, and it tells you the key factors as to how high the lead score is. We can see their engagement is 89%. We can see that their submission is 61. The time frame from when an email is sent to when they open it is 70%. The propensity is 20%. The contact info is 100%. This all goes into the lead score, right? So what did we say earlier? The higher the lead score, the more likely they are to sell. This is where you can add a tag. So if you had somebody who requested a CMA, you would click on the plus button, you would select CMA. If they were a referral, right, you could click on referral. Where did that just go? You could click on referral. You can click add 2 tags. You can do more than 2 at a time. You can do, you know, if you had somebody who was let's say in 5 categories, you could tag all 5 categories at once. You just want to make sure that you click save for it to save them. This tells you that the agent is assigned, or that this client is assigned to that particular agent. The engagement, it breaks it all down for you right here on the left. So you have the views, you have the opens, you have the clicks. If they scan a QR code, it's also going to show you how many times they've scanned a QR code, right? You can also see, whoops, once this little automation goes away, you can see their submission. So they've submitted for a home value lead 1 time. If they submit it twice, it'll say 2 submission, right? Any CRM fields that you have filled out. So if it's a stage, if it's a source, if it's a CRM agent, any additional information that you have in regard to the CRM will be in here. That is the contact card. The property details, you would just open the property image on the right, open it, it's gonna bring you up to, right? Their mortgage, the property, the details about the property, the percentage that the contact to owner match. What's that percentage, right? The owner details, the previous owner, the property details of when it was sold, who the buying agent was, right? It's gonna give you all of this information. It's gonna give you current mortgage stuff. It's gonna give you houses that were recently sold, right? All within here. It's also going to show you where those recent sales are in comparison to where the subject property is. It's going to give you their current mortgage and stuff like that. That is everything that you can get from a contact card. And with that, I'm going to give it over to Farah because we have 10 minutes left. So Farah is going to lead us to the rest of the class. I stopped sharing my screen as well, Farah, for you.
Can you see my screen share?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful, wonderful. So first of all, really quickly, I had to look up what propensity meant because it was one of the factors in the score. Just so we all know, propensity is a natural tendency to behave in a particular way. So that means if the person who is using Fello and receiving the emails continues to look at houses in the same price range, the same type of houses, the same area, that means they would have a higher propensity score because they're continually doing the same things over and over again. Lower propensity score would mean that they are kind of all over the place and not looking at the same thing. I had to look it up. I'm a sucker for understanding a word. Anyway, moving along. So if someone is checking their home value, now that we've got things rolling, right? And we are in the process of using Fello, we're sending out these home valuation emails. People are actually checking them, they're engaging. Now what? What do we do, right? So first of all, we want to find out why. Why are they checking their home value score? On our end, it's great, right? Because hopefully they're going to do a transaction shortly, but we want to be able to get in contact with them and figure out why. So Stacey has provided us graciously with some scripts for reaching out to the client after you've gotten their data suggesting that they are looking for home valuation. Question number one. Hey there, friend. I saw you were looking at the value of your home today. What did you think of the value? Was it too high? Was it too low? Was it just right? And this is a great one. It's very direct, very much just engaging to see where their head is at and just having a nice conversation starter. Another great script for a call, another question is, well, what had you looking? Are you looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Way we could phrase that is, hey, I saw that you were looking at this, or I saw that you were able to open a home valuation email. What are you looking for in particular? How can I help? Keep the magic. The only way to keep the magic going with Fello is to log in regularly. And this goes almost back to calendar mastery, making sure we are on top of our daily and weekly schedules and we're focused on our short-term, midterm, and long-term goals in a sustainable way. One of the ways we can do that is start enveloping and making sure we're folding Fello into our day-to-day lives. And stay in touch with those homeowners who are engaging with the system, right? Because this is the payoff. They're engaging with their emails. Here's where we're at now. Now that we've talked about Fello, you kind of get this great opportunity to choose your CRM. If you like Isaac and you've been working with Isaac and you think it's great, then we don't want to pull the rug from underneath you. But if what we've shared with you today about Fello is tempting and that you think that this might work for you going forward, then definitely move to Fello. I will say, from my perspective of engaging with both platforms, Isaac is very great, but it is antiquated, very, very much so. Fello kind of takes in all of the tools of the day, right? Which is AI, data pulling from multiple streams, kind of giving you this all-encompassing product that helps you really, really manage your database in 2025. Isaac Contact is great, but maybe not moving along ahead towards the future with us. what to do with buyer leads. So as we've seen, Fellow is very, very much geared towards seller leads, which is what we want. We really want to get those seller leads. Buyer leads are great, but we're really focused on seller leads. But what do I do with my buyer leads? Well, Fellow is designed to keep in touch bi-weekly with people who own homes. It engages clients, but keeping them informed of their home value. It's not really a product that I would recommend using to engage with buyer leads. For active buyers, you want to utilize Real Scout, which is part of the Layer Tech Bundle. Real Scout will stay in touch with your buyers as new properties come on the market. Now, why Real Scout really quickly? Real Scout is Layer's answer to Zillow. It is a search engine that we can really, really customize for our own branding that we can share with potential buyers so that when they are going through the process of searching on this platform, we're able to see on our end what they're looking at, what they're focused on, so that we can tailor the experience to them like never before.
I
Going
will
back one.
also add one thing to Real Scout too, Farah, is
Yes.
that if you have, right, so for me, I have my Maine, my New Hampshire, and my Massachusetts license, right? And if I have a client looking in all three states, what a pain to set them up. Maine MLS, New Hampshire MLS, Mass MLS, Real Scout. I can have all three licenses and I can have that client have a search in one place for all three states with their criteria. Now, can it do more? Of course it can. On Thursday of this week, I am doing a lunch and learn on Real Scout. So if you have questions on Real Scout, join that lunch and learn and you'll find out. Go ahead, Farah.
Before I move on from the Choose Your CRM, just want to go over quickly a bulleted list of why Fellow AI designed to help you find seller leads. Love that. Rate leads so you know which ones are more likely to sell. What good is it having a database if you're having trouble sifting through what you need to focus on? Creates home value reports. Very cool. Reports which clients find engaging and can mass email your entire database. Very, very important. So now we give you an opportunity to choose your CRM, and we have a great way to do that. You can go to layerrealty.com/choose your CRM, or you can utilize the QR code at the bottom right-hand corner. It's going to be a really easy opportunity and a really simple form where you get to choose the CRM that you would like to use going forward. Again, I highly, 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 highly recommend Fellow. Best practices for using Fellow. Use QR codes to direct consumers to your landing pages as well as often. Just so we all know, landing pages are standalone, miniature kind of websites that we can have for an individual property. Utilizing and creating a QR code for that website is the best way for market saturation, so to speak, so that you can share it with people as much as possible. I would put it on all of your open house print marketing. I would put it on anything you're sending out, any type of cards that you're sending out to the neighborhood, any type of postcards, anything you can put it on, I would put that QR code on. Connect with every lead. When you see they are engaging and reaching out to them, that's very important. And it goes back to the idea of us logging into Fellow every day and making it part of our day-to-day practices towards success. And monitor performance, analyze trends, and adjust strategies accordingly. Bookmark Fellow Academy, highfellow.com. They have their own academy where you can learn everything you know. I very, very much recommend that you check this out. This is made for Fellow by the creators of Fellow, so they will not miss anything. They will go over everything with you in great detail. Definitely watch these classes, Fellows for Agents, Titans of Real Estate, the Fellow Listing Challenge, and effective scripts and strategies for Fellow, especially regarding follow-up now that your clients are engaging via Fellow. If you need help making magic with Fellow, please email happyagent@Layer Realty. I entered this in the chat before. However, any notes and questions that you have from today, please, please, please take a moment, take 5 minutes. Remember, anything we could do in 5 minutes or less, we're doing it immediately. Take 5 minutes and send those emails over to Happy Agent. And Ashley, Stacy, I will all be really, really happy to help you. And again, we'll have ongoing education regarding Fellow moving forward in this new year. Ashley, anything to add on the end? I think this was awesome. You did such a great job, girl.
Oh, thank you, with how nervous I was about this. Um, no, so just give us some time. I have seen quite a few questions already come into Happy Agent. So we will get through them. Just give us some time to get through all of the questions. If you need to be resent the welcome email, again, give us a little bit of time, as we do need to go into the Fellow system. We need to find your name and we need to resend the invite. So just have a little patience with us the rest of the day if you do send in a Fellow question to Happy Agent, as it is still a new system to all of us as well. So we are still learning it as well as you guys. So just have some patience and some grace with us. We appreciate it.
We definitely appreciate it. And don't worry, all of your questions will be answered. I definitely promise that. And thank you everyone for joining. We really appreciate having you and have a wonderful day. Bye.